Hey guys, this is Aaron Thompson from Arnese, Somalia. Just wanted to reach out to everyone who asked me about different warm-ups and different exercises that they can do to improve their manual dexterity, or maybe their flexibility in their wrists, or strengthen their forearms, stuff like that, and just various other things that we can do to kind of warm up. So I'm going to start with the least obvious ways of warming up and kind of work our way to the most obvious just towards the end. So the first thing that I want to talk about is the balisong, this is the butterfly knife. This one is just a trainer, so as you can see, it's dull enough to ride home on. I don't actually own a real butterfly knife, and because I really have no desire to ever really use one or really carry one. I think a fixed blade would be much more efficient if I ever did want to do any knife fighting. Of course, a gun would be more efficient in a lot of situations as well. But this is a manual dexterity training device at this particular point. Don't even have to really call it a balisong or a butterfly knife. But one of the reasons why I like it is because, of course, of its heritage, but also because it is a great way to train the brain to tell the fingers what to do, and then the fingers obey, right? So there's lots of different ways to open and close the balisong. I only know like 3, and I'm not very good at it, but it's something that I can do, and I can take, and I can work on, and I can get different openings, and I can get different closings and stuff like that. So I'm going to put a link to a playlist of somebody in our YouTube channel that knows this very well, and can teach you all the different steps on it. That's not what I do. I don't train people on how to use balisong, but it is very good at getting your fingers to do what your brain is telling them to do, right? Because that's one of the biggest things about training. In any martial art, it's always frustrating when the instructor tells you what to do, tells you exactly how to do it. You understand it, you receive it, and then you go to put it in practice, and something weird happens with your body, right? It doesn't just quite cooperate. It takes time and effort to get your brain in sync with your body. Some people call it muscle memory, building new synapses, neuron pathways, whatever it is. But that's one of the things that you can do to really start working on the manual dexterity for people that don't play piano or guitar or stuff like that. And then also just overall training. You can do it in your right hand, you can do it in your left hand, and it's great. The next one is, this one is probably something, again, a little bit more obvious than the balisong, but it's just walking the stick, right? So you just take your stick and you start with it hanging in your hand, and then you just walk on up, all the way up till you reach the end, and then you kind of let the end drop over, and then you start over again. Once, twice is easy enough. 3 times, 4 times starts getting a little burny. So just something, again, that helps the fingers coordinate to accomplish a task, and gets them starting to work together. Okay. There's, of course, the fan, the abanico, right? So you just hold your arms out and spin the stick back and forth to kind of loosen up the wrists. I like to do the middle grab, but then I also like to switch it up and do the end grab so that you have a little bit more weight as the stick's going around. I also have a stick that I bought from Cold Steel. Yep, Cold Steel, which is their Arnese stick that was made out of polypropylene or some indestructible material, but it weighs a lot, and sometimes I like swinging that one around too, just to get the different feel and the different weights and the different sizes and the different grips, and get used to all of that stuff in your hand. Okay. There's also probably one of the most common, but also one of my favorites, is when you take the stick and you grab underneath, and then all you're going to do is to start off, you're just going to flip the stick over, and then as it comes over, you're just going to grab with your other hand, and crank on down with it. Okay, nice and relaxing. You know, just go as far as you feel like you can go. You can do that on both sides, obviously, and then work on. There's usually going to be one wrist that is less flexible than the other. That's completely fine. That's completely normal. Even after doing it for a long time, I'm not sure if I know anybody who's exactly the same, has the exact same flexibility on both sides, or strength, or coordination, or something like that. Even these guys that claim to be ambidextrous, whenever they come to the home plate, there's usually one side that they can write better with, that they can do fine tasks with, and another one that they can, yeah, so there's always differences, right? There's always a difference between the two hands, two sides. So just work on them. After you've done that for a bit, you can actually do both. So you can swing both under. And then what you'll notice is that if you hold it out in front of you, that's easier. But if you stand up and just kind of let it drop down, can't even see that, then that kind of stretches out the forearms. You'll notice that sometimes you'll have to really grip the stick loosely just to be able to do it, but gradually over time just grip the stick harder and harder, and really feel the stretch coming through. Okay, so that's pretty easy. Of course, then you can go to the really obvious stuff like arm circles, just random swinging the stick around, just getting used to it. I have a padded stick that I usually use around the house here. The kids love chasing me around with it and playing with it. So if you feel just, you know, cheap PVC wrapped in some kind of padding so that you won't hurt anything that you hit with it, including yourself, you can always try that if you're really trepidatious about just swinging the stick around and hitting yourself, because it's going to happen. I still do it. I've been doing this for 11 years, and I still do it. I still hit myself in the face. I still hit myself in my leg, which I did in my class just last week, and then I even hit myself in the eye doing an abanico on my tire stand dummy, and I was trying not to hit the garage door as I was coming around, and whack right in the eye. So still happens from time to time. Don't be afraid of it. Just learn, go through it. All right. Rambling a bit, but some things to work on and some things to do, and some things that will help you get better. All right. At least I think so. Thank you guys so much.